Anytime you hear Kanye West and slavery, it's going to get your attention. And once again, he is talking about slavery, and he's calling out the NBA and the entire music industry, claiming that they are modern day slave ships and that he is here to lead his people to the promised land. In fact, Kanye is now referring to himself as Moses, the new Moses.
And you know, Charles, the interesting thing about that, and I have no idea, this may have just been a coincidence. Remember a week or so ago when he had a Sunday service and he was walking on that water.
Walking on water.
Thinking, I wonder if this was kind of a prelude to that.
This is what Kanye tweeted last night.
Okay,
I need to see everybody's contracts at Universal and Sony. Music, he's talking. I'm not going to watch my people be enslaved. I'm putting my life on the line for my people. The music industry and the NBA are modern day slave ships. I'm the new Moses.
So here's my question about that. He clearly has beef with Universal. That, you know, he's been tweeting about it since he put that out. But he threw in the NBA. And
that I find odd at this point, just because there's a lot of spotlight on the NBA now, not only because it's the playoffs, but because of their commitment to social justice, to racial equality. And that they have been at the forefront as far as
they've been the leaders. They've been the leaders.
Athletes. Yeah, they are the leaders in this. So it's interesting that he's calling them out as the NBA, the league, which calling out the league for being modern day slave ship. I don't know. That one struck me as odd.
I have not heard that from really anybody in months. Have you? I haven't heard.
No, it's really bizarre that anyone would call out the NBA for something like that at this point when
it's been the opposite. I mean, it's been the opposite, that I think there's been a lot of acclaim for LeBron and others in the NBA that have really kind of led the charge on a lot of the social justice issues. And I haven't heard any criticism beyond that. No. In fact, Charles, when they boycotted, a lot of people were saying, and I think Michael Rubin told us this too, that they have a platform that is so powerful when they're playing that the NBA actually helps them get their message out.
Yeah, I agree. So here's another key word when Kanye West is talking. Taylor Swift. I guess that's two words, two names. And she came up also in his latest Twitter rant. And this part I thought was even more interesting. We can dissect what he meant about modern day slave ships. And we're probably not going to ever agree on figure out what he meant. But this had to do with his contract dispute with Universal. After he said, I want to see everybody's contracts, he says, I didn't hear anything from Universal and Sony, so now we're going to war. And he posted what seems like a text conversation he is having with a lawyer or a manager. And it goes into detail. Someone is explaining to Kanye how they could possibly go after the record label for breaching his contract. And as this person says, it's the nuclear option, and that you could litigate with them and try to get your masters so that you would own your masters, and then makes a reference to Taylor Swift. Says, but if Taylor's cost $300 million, yours would cost a lot more, I assume. Remember that if you re-record these songs, you could own these new masters outright. So it's almost like he's taking a page out of Taylor's playbook is what this person is proposing.
And what he said, guys, I mean, he said that he wants his kids to own his masters too. So this is probably them trying to formulate a plan. Doesn't in kind of showing his cards and everything, that's going to hurt him, right? Because it's just if he doesn't really have a reason to get out of this contract or whatever, and he's kind of showing that this is premeditated, I can't imagine when this goes to court that's going to work in his favor.
My name is Gabby. I'm in New Braunfels, Texas, and this is my thought on the topic. I think that Kanye has a very interesting way of expressing his feelings and is very impulsive, and a lot of people are very uncomfortable with that. However, I don't think he has the worst intentions. I think he is just giving advice based off of his experience and just wanting better for the future generation, really.
I think that's right. I think that's absolutely
well intent. Yeah, I don't think anyone can question that Kanye's intentions are pure. It's just, it's hard to understand
on a business level.
Yes.